I'll pause here and I will actually turn the time over to Joyce Seow, who is the Group Executive Director of Watson EP. You might have noticed that she was part of the first cohort, and I'll turn it over to Joyce to tell us a little bit about her experience in the program. Joyce.
Hello, good morning. I'm Joyce Seow from Watson EP. I'm the Group Executive Director. Watson EP is a Singapore company with a fully owned subsidiary in China and affiliate company in Vietnam. We are a family business that started in 1977, and I'm one of the second generation leaders. Watson EP started providing electroplating and electromagnetic interference shielding, or EMC coating services when we started. So we grew over the years to provide mechanical design services, prototyping to full product manufacturing services, including like plastic injection tool making, plastic injection molding, PCBA, and product assembly. So we serve global customers in different sectors like audio, hygiene, measurement instruments, as well as we support, help startups to develop and produce their new products, bring it to market. So I started implementing ERP, or rather back then it was known as MRP solutions in Watson before year 2000. And I'm always keen to explore new digital solutions and automations to improve our operations within reasonable cost. When I was introduced to IHCI program early this year, I was interested due to two reasons. Number one, to try new digital solutions, see what we can make out of it and to help improve our processes. And number two, the appeal of the consultants in the IHCI program. McKinsey and EY are globally renowned companies, and with subsidies from our government agencies, it was very attractive for us to embark on this program. Next slide, please. I had to convince my operations team to embark on this program, and it wasn't without some resistance. So I'd like to thank McKinsey and WSG for having meetings with my team. Kenneth went down personally a couple of times to meet with my team to discuss and address our doubts and queries. So after the buy-in of my team, we proceeded to brainstorm about what is the pain point that we face. We have to find the problem statement that we want to tackle for the IHCI program. So we decided on improving quality as one of our plating processes, as we were facing quality issues that had my production team puzzled for some time. So some of our plated parts had consistently low quality issues, but some had pretty high rejects, even though the parts go through the same chemical plating baths. Next, please. So together with the McKinsey team, we focused on key elements affecting plating process yield. On operations side, we recorded plating timing and tracked individual plating yield results. So next, can I have the next slide? Thank you. So we collected process parameters as well as lab analysis of chemical contents in our plating baths into a software. I think just now KJ mentioned a Tulip software that McKinsey consultant KJ has did for us. So previously we have this data, but it was done in silo and not consolidated and analyzed the way it was done during the IHCI. This data was collected over a span of about 5 to 6 weeks. We started the program just before a circuit breaker, and we was only allowed limited production during circuit breaker period. So we only resumed full operations during phase 2, but despite the disruption to our production, we could still make good observations using data analytics. Next slide, please. So we found that different parameters affect different products, even though the different products went through the same chemical baths. So product A was most probably affected by one parameter, as you can see here, the catalyst HCI, but product B and C are affected by 3 or 4 other parameters. So with all this, we could, this data that we collected, we could zoom in on the most probable cost to control and improve these parameters for different products. Our takeaway is we are pleasantly surprised that although McKinsey team do not have any plating knowledge and are not from my industry, but with data analytics, they're able to arrive at probable causes. So McKinsey team members that I work with, like Zhong Huai and Ting Feng, also made efforts to check with an overseas plating expert while working on our plating issues. That's for them to understand more about the plating process when we were working on these projects together. Next slide. So the potential reject could reduce by 44% as we continue to work on these problem areas. My QA team members who were assigned to work on this project with my plating team learned more, and both production team and QA team fostered better understanding on tackling the process issues together after this program. So may I have the next slide? So the job redesign done by EY consultant was for my assistant QA engineer's role on job roles before and after the IHCI program. So after the program, we realized that there are skills needed for the future role, and then the job redesign had to include some more data analytics. The job skills was mapped, and the training courses were also recommended for us to consider upgrading the staff. So next slide. So in conclusion, we had a pleasant learning experience with McKinsey and EY consultants. Both are very efficient, and the meetings are always concise and prepared. So for those who are keen on this program, I would strongly recommend you think hard on the problem statement. So it's important to find the issue you feel will be worth your time, effort, and resources to work on for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you for the sharing. And perhaps as we go into the final part of this session, one thing I did want to say, right, is that with the 21 companies that we've seen in cohort 1, and of course, Joyce and Watson EP being one of them, we do work with companies from across the spectrum. I think for the first cohort, our largest company was a $12 billion MNC, and our smallest company was a $1 million SME, right? And we had everything in between. And so you would see people who have not started on their Industry 4.0 journeys, people who are perhaps a little bit more advanced, and one and the same, because of the flexibility and the way the program is set up, we are able to work on multiple different kinds of problem statements, whether it be machine related, labor related, quality related, right? And the structured process that we take to go through the program ensures that we are always focused on the most important business problems,